I thought I had a decent idea on how to start this video, and I just don't think it's gonna work. Hello and welcome back to another one of my videos. If you don't know who I am, I'm Christian Thayer. I'm with the marketing department, and in this video I am very excited about this video in particular for whatever reason, but the topic of this video is going to be Instagram stories, specifically creating and promoting an ad via Instagram stories. I know, brilliant. So in this video, I'm basically just gonna screen share my phone. I'm gonna give you a step-by-step guide on how to create and basically publish a story on Instagram. A couple reasons just before we get into doing it, why you might want to create an Instagram story ad is, well, A billion people per month view an Instagram story. That's a lot of people. And B, a billion people you view the stories. So also C, they're very cheap for considering, for those of you that have worked with Facebook ads and just like in like the news feed, you might be thinking that's kind of expensive. I'm not really getting a whole lot of bang for my buck. In the Instagram stories, I will show you how much it's going to cost per day to reach X amount of people. Also, if this video gets enough love and you guys are really interested in more about how to make ads on stories or wherever, I will gladly come back and make a second video or third or however many, kind of giving you maybe tips and tricks and ideas on what kind of ads to run and what ads might work better than others and fun stuff. So if you enjoyed this content, let me know, like the video, throw a comment down there, say that you would love to hear more, and I will gladly make another video. So let's get into how to create an Instagram story ad. Okay, so first things first, you're gonna want to obviously open up Instagram and go onto your profile page. And first things first, you have to make sure that your Instagram is linked up with your Facebook. I went over this in a previous video on the steps on how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, just quickly Google how to link your Facebook account to your Instagram account. You should be golden. The only reason you need to do that is for like the payments purposes and the audience, if you will. So also, by the way, I have dark mode on my phone, so that's why Instagram looks dark. I just switched it because, it's going to be easier to see. So on your profile page, you're going to have these three buttons basically right below your profile picture. And it says Edit Profile, Promotions, or Insights. So what we're going to want to do is click Promotions. And it's going to hopefully bring you to a page that looks like this. So you have a couple options. You can either create or manage. Now, because I haven't ran any ads or don't have any ads running currently, there's nothing under manage. So all I have the opportunity is to create. So what I can do is it gives me two options. It gives me the option to promote a top post, which is like the last post I posted or just one that was doing really well. But that's in the news feed. That's not what I'm talking about today. So what I'm going to be doing is I will be clicking choose a post, and then it'll bring up all of the photos that I posted. But if you see down here in the bottom, it gives me the difference between post and story. So you can go back and promote old stories. So I'm going to click on story because that's what I want to do. And I'm going to choose the last story that I did a couple days ago of just a nice house that I saw while I was on a walk. And I just thought it looked nice. So I'm using this because it might be a good example for you guys if you're promoting a listing or an open house or etc. So I'm just going to choose this. I'm going to click next up in the top right. Then it's going to ask me, where am I sending these people, right? Now, obviously this is completely up to you. However, if you are using this for a new listing or an open house or whatever, you're probably going to want to send them to a website, probably your website or the specific listings website. You catch my drift. So you're going to click your website. And then once you do that, you're going to need to put in the URL of wherever you want to send them. So for this purpose, I'm just going to type in yourwebsite.com because I don't have a place I'm sending them. And then it gives you an action button. Now what this means is if you've ever seen a sponsored post or a sponsored story, at the bottom there will be a little swipe up arrow that will then send them to the website. So unfortunately you can't like customize it. They only give you 6. So probably you're gonna wanna learn more, might be more in your guys' wheelhouse. So I'm just gonna click learn more. Up at the top, I'll click done. And then it brings me back to this page where I then just click next again. And so now this is where we kind of get into the tricky stuff because it's asking you to define your audience. Now, depending on how technologically savvy you are in marketing and research and all of that fun stuff, you can get pretty in-depth here. Currently, it will just set it to automatic. Now, basically, automatic means Instagram targets people like your followers. So that can be a good or bad thing depending on who your followers are. Only you will know that. There is this button up here that allows you to click special requirements. And if you click that, a little pop-up will come up and it gives you the opportunity to click credit, employment, housing. I really do not know 100% of what this means. So, I mean, in theory, you would want to click housing because that's real estate, insurance, mortgages, or similar. So, that's a thing. Another thing that I would recommend doing with just ads in general is testing them. So you could do one of two things. You could run 2 ads, 2 of the exact same ad. You go and find the same story and you do this twice, and you define your audience as the housing version, and then you just define your audience as the automatic version, right? You figure out which one works best because you're gonna find out it's not that expensive. So then you click next. Now here's where we get into the budget aspect. As you can see here, if you want to do $5 a day for 6 days, you are going to reach approximately 5,100 people, or your max reach will be 14,000 people. Now, let's just say we're going to meet somewhere in the middle. Let's say you're going to hit 8,000 to 9,000 people, right? 8,000 to 9,000 people for $30, that feels like a pretty good deal. I don't think you're going to be putting any holes in your pocket for $30 over 6 days to advertise a listing that could return you a lot more. So keep that in mind. So as you can see, the more of the budget that you give, let's say I want to bump it up to $15 a day and spend $90 over the next 6 days, I then have a reach of 15,000 to 41,000 people. Now, what I will say, and I've learned this much I know, is that when you run an ad on Facebook or Instagram, it takes 3 days for the ad algorithm to figure out who is clicking on your ads. Because it's a smart algorithm. It will basically create it. Bottom line, give it 3 days minimum before you decide to kill the ad. Okay, if you don't start seeing better engagement on days 4 and 5, then yes, kill it and redo it because something isn't working. But I strongly encourage you to give it a minimum of 3 days. So I'm just gonna drop it back down to 5. $30 over 6 days. That's not terrible. Then we're gonna click next. And basically this is where you're going to review. This is where it's going to give you all of the things that you've clicked on. If you haven't added like a payment account, it'll ask you to set up your PayPal, or I think you can do a credit card. I don't know. I just have PayPal on there because it's easier. But one of the things that I strongly recommend doing is you need to is you're going to want to preview what the heck your ad's going to look like. And you can do that up here where it says preview promotion. So you click that little arrow and it'll pop up and it'll load for a little bit. And this is what it's going to look like. This is what your ad will look like in the story feed. So as the people are watching stories and they're swiping through, this will just pop up. Now, unfortunately, you can't swipe up to learn more in the preview because it's not live. So it doesn't give you the actual option to see what it looks like. But this is basically what it was going to look like. So this is how you create an Instagram story ad. I hope it was helpful and insightful. Like I said before, if you guys want to learn more about how to do this and the types of content and maybe different strategies, please let me know. I really enjoy this stuff. This is like the marketing. This is like the science and research, and it's like a game, to me at least. So let me know. I'll gladly make more videos on strategy and all that fun stuff. But until then, stay safe, get some exercise, and wash your hands, and go sell some houses.